Assignment 3. Here's test data that I created. First problem in code 1 for managers was a lot of people didn't divide by 52. Okay. Do you notice how also in my calculations, sometimes we may need to let all those decimals there until the very end. And some of you are familiar with the movie Superman 3, or I think it's Office Space or something. Where do all those partial pennies go? Because none of the banking industry is rounding up. So when you get to your final answer, it might be 0.369, 9/10 of a penny. And imagine doing that for how many accounts and where does all that money go? Well, in those movies, they thought about that and they stole that money. But to help get an accurate answer, make sure you let your decimal points go until the very end. Factory workers, I hit one that was 40 hours and one that was 60 because I needed to test the overtime. Gross widget sales, 10,000, a nice even number. Number of widgets, 100. So if I was actually being paid to come up with this program, this would be a good start for test data to make sure the system's working before I go any farther. If you weren't making up test data for this program, I bet you the answers would have been really crazy. Can you work together on test data? Yeah, I don't mind. Like if you said, for factory workers, I put in 40 hours and I got this number. Is that what everybody else got? If it's yeses and nos, getting into the actual formulas might be making it a little too similar with the programs.
Okay.
I should have done a survey. Everybody could type in how many they got right. I'm going to try that real quick.
So for something like this, you don't want us to round until the final answer?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I was thinking to round because like the tax amount, they're going to take that out exactly out of your paycheck, even if it, came out to be 444. So,
right.
But I can see it for other examples too, like you said, with the banking.
Oh, somebody got 5 out of 5. There's another person, 5 out of 5. Oh, there's a 4 out of 5. Oh, look at the 5 out of 5s. We're up to 4, 5. That's a pretty good sign, folks. I know some of you are fibbing because you didn't get 774.36 for that first answer. You had it a much higher, but there's 11. There's 13. 13 out of 17. Okay, good. And share results. There you go. You can see the results. All right, good.
Yeah.
Stop sharing. Done playing with that. Okay, moving on. Section 7.7, okay? I'm not going to do a lot of talking as far as teaching, but working with everybody, and that's going to come up shortly. But how do I pass an array as an argument? Well, the other day we talked about an array name is actually the beginning address. So when I get ready and I want to call a function, show values, I'm going to pass in the name of the array, and that's it. Because again, this is the beginning address. That's all I need to know is where it starts. Most of the time, I'm going to have to pass in the size. I may already know the size, but that might be a second thing that you're going to pass in. When it comes to the prototype, or when it comes to the actual function heading, as you see here, and again, doing the code listings, I'm hoping that this makes sense pretty quick looking at it. Void show values. Now that I'm bringing in this address, I'm letting the compiler know that it's going to be an array, and it's going to be in blocks of 4. So it's going to work with the int. So when I call it, all I need is the name of the array. When I have my heading, I have the name that I'm going to use. I need to make sure that it's an array and it's going to be an int. Otherwise, it would just be a memory address coming in, and we may not know how to handle it. That could be the starting address of a string for all we know. Okay, so when I pass this in, this is an address coming in. It's going to work just like our reference variables from the other day. Remember the ones where we did the ampersand or the treble clef or whatever you want to call that thing that I just kind of tried to draw. Okay, so it's going to work like a reference variable, meaning I can change the values in here. This is great. If I want to call a function, hi Mayan, I will not mark you late. Good. Okay, so if I want to call a function and show the values or input the values, I can pass it in and fill my array, manipulate my array, whatever I need to do. So it will work like a reference variable. Now, you should have seen a note in there. Well, what if I want to make sure that my array does not get screwed up inside of the method? I don't want any of the changes to stay. We can put the word const in front of it to make it a constant. And courses down the road, you're going to see more usage of this so that we can protect the array so that there aren't any changes. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at 2 problems. The first one is number 10 on 457, and I want to lay out the main. What will the main look like for this? And then we'll do it for the second one, and then I'm going to put you into groups, and we'll go from there. So I'm looking at page 457. I don't know why I'm in 500s. 454, 57. There it is. I need to pause for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Resume recording. Okay. So number 10 on page 457, hopefully you took a look at it. And what I'm going to have you do is write this program, and it's one about multiple choice questions. So making some notes right away, I'm going to be able to implicitly fill that first array because I'm going to need 2 arrays and I'm going to have to compare them side by side. So all the actual correct answers are going to go there. Now, my question to you folks is, what might the main look like after that? Because the main is just going to be a bunch of function calls. What would you like to put in the main? I have killer dogs here. Yep.
Get answer.
So I need to unmute. Get answers. Get user answers. Get answers. We want to be a little more descriptive. Tell me what to write. Get answers. We're all good with that?
I would say get student array or something.
This is the easy part, folks.
I would do get solution for the correct answers.
Okay. So we're getting a couple of different ones. I just want to make sure that it's descriptive. So let's go with what we had first. Get answers. All right. What am I going to be passing in?
The student's answers.
Okay. So stud ands. Is that going to be an array?
Yes.
Yes. And we know it's going to be an array of size 20. So would I need to pass in a size? I'm thinking not.
No.
Okay. Next thing, what would I do?
Probably make a loop.
Do I need a loop or I think I want to do all these in functions. So once I know I have the correct answers, now that I know the student answers,
Compare.
compare. Dog. Dog's name's Dog. Compare answers. COMP. I'll be right back.